Hello everyone, this is my prototype of the game Galactic Era, the space exploration, expansion and combat game about darkness and light. Here you see the various components. Each player plays a star people represented by this tile. The star people has an alignment depending on which side you're playing on. This is the light side, this is the dark side. You have the board made up of sectors, which is a modular board which you can recombine in any way. This is the population track where you have all your population disks that are not on the map. Each time you take a star, you take population off your track and put it on your map. The highest free number here is your score at the end of the game. These pieces are ships. They will maybe be replaced with models if we reach the stretch goal in the game. You can also have ships as fleets. Every player has 5 fleets, A, B, C, D, E, which you use these chips with numbers on them, showing the number of ships, and then you stack them in a stack face down and put a counter on top with the letter of your fleet. Most fleets are hidden, so you have to put the number face down, and the D fleet is the only one where you can always see the number. The fleets always have special abilities depending on what type of fleet they are. Here you also see the technology track with the 5 technology areas: military, spirituality, propulsion, robotics, genetics. During the game you level up these technology fields up to level 6. At the highest level you become very powerful in that aspect of the game. You also have a domination card, which is an objective card which you can score with. Here's the turn track. You play 8 rounds, then the game is over. Each game has a different scenario. This one is Galactic Wars, where you score differently during the various eras. There's 3 eras: a light era, a dark era, another light era, with different scoring conditions. And you have a final scoring condition called a Galactic Goal, which you can exchange also. In the game there's 8 different galactic goals that you can play with, and there's 3 different galactic stories, which means you have a total combination of the 24. This is an emergency reserve tile. Every player has an emergency reserve of 6 ships, which come into play when you need them most, when you have an emergency. Yeah, and this is a player reference card. Player gets a player reference card. This is how the box will hopefully look like. Here are the counters. Player has a set of growth action counters, which they use during play. Here's the turn order. The turn order can change during the course of game. That's why it's individual counters. Here are the war peace counters. Those are your diplomatic relationships to other players. So, for example, my diplomatic relationship with the yellow player is at peace at the moment. And yeah, and if you're at war, you turn it over to the other side. We have this war side face up. Then there's also wormholes. These are wormholes. They connect always 2 hexes together as if they were adjacent. So here this is a 3-player setup. Each player has their own home sector, and then there's always one center tile. If you play with more players, then you fill up the gaps with more home sectors. But there always is only one sector tile. There's 3 different types of stars you can discover here in the game. Normally their counters are face down like this, but here I put them face up. So there's uninhabited stars, primitive stars, and advanced civilizations. Yeah, these are nebula here. These are asteroid systems, which you can mine for building extra ships. You also have a center sector with ancient relics. Each star in the center sector gets a counter, which is initially face down like this, which is one of the ancient relics, which gives a special effect in the game. If you take that star here on the player reference card, you can find what all the ancient relics do. Here, for example, we have the Super Stargate, which means you can jump to that star from any of your other stars, anywhere else. You can jump there and back. And here in the middle, we have the Planetary Death Ray. The Planetary Death Ray allows you to shoot 1 disc or ship of another player within a range of 3 hexes. So for example, red could shoot yellow's disc there. or he could shoot this ship away from there.